Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Workers Daily. My name is Tabitha King. It's a joy and a pleasure to finally start this program I wanted to do on my YouTube channel a long time ago. I've been postponing it for several reasons, especially with the quality of my equipment and my environment. But today I decided I was going to muster the courage to do it in spite or regardless of how the current circumstances are. So I'm very excited to get along with you today, and I'm sure we're going to have a good time. So, for this first edition, I would like us to talk about actually Workers Daily is a program that I'm putting up on my YouTube channel, and the idea is that every day I'm going to put up discuss something that has to do with the workplace from a Christian perspective. Which of course are universal principles that even people who are not Christians can follow. And so, for the very first thing we're talking about today is something I've observed in the past month in the internet space. Is called tact. So, what is tact? Tact is the capacity to be able to handle a particular situation, a problem, an issue, or a difficult position, taking into consideration the feelings of those involved, the dignity of those involved, and maintaining a good relationship. That is what tact is. You can also call it diplomacy. Why is it important? The first thing is that human beings are fallible. Human beings make mistakes. Human beings sometimes do things that will offend us, and we need to be very wise in the way we approach this thing, not to make the fire flare up, but to rather quench the fire and make sure that the situation finds a solution. Secondly, we use tact in difficult situations or difficult conversations, which has the potential of changing someone's emotional state or make somebody become aggressive or act out of line. Thirdly, we use tact to make ourselves more credible and more integral because the way you handle the situation speaks a lot about the character. Also, using tech correctly portrays that you have good manners and you have a good approach towards human relationships. And then finally, we use tech to avoid conflict, to create a common ground, and to save face in a difficult situation that can be jeopardizing or a threat to your enterprise or to your business. So, what are the points to consider when we are using tech? The first thing you need to consider when you're using tech is the culture of in which you find yourself. There are some things that you do in one culture which can be positively appreciated, and there are ones that you can use in another culture that will not be positively appreciated. So you need to, study the cultural concept or the cultural construct of the place in which you find yourself. There are some cultures where when talking and looking at somebody in the eye is threatening. So you may want to talk and maybe look away. And there are other cultures when you talk and don't look at the other person in the eye, it's perceived as weakness, it's perceived as disrespect. So have an idea of what is the cultural construct around the place, the person or the circumstance. Secondly, you need to take into consideration the temperament of the person involved. If you're dealing with a choleric that can easily flare up, you may want to be more to approach the person in a more calm and appeasing way so that they don't maybe explode. If you're dealing with somebody that is maybe timid, you need to look for ways to make the person more comfortable and bring the person out of the shell. So the temperament of the person involved is also to be taken into consideration. Thirdly, you need to consider the level of education. There are some people, education in this case is not just schoolwork or book work, it's also about um, what you have learned from life, or what is your social intelligence, or what is what has the circumstances of life taught you, So you need to assess the level of education of the person you're dealing with. When you're dealing with somebody who maybe didn't go to school, they may have a complex feeling that maybe because you've gone to school, where you're trying to prove to them that you are superior to them. And there are some other people who maybe have overdone education, and maybe they don't easily find reason in what someone is. They have this superiority complex where they feel they're always right. So you need to assess the educational level of the person involved. And then you need to also take into consideration the quality of your message, the choice of your words. how do you construct your words? How do you present the message? How do you transmit the information that you want the person to listen? So that also needs to be taken into consideration. Now I'm going to give you 5 tips in order not to make this video too long. 5 tips on how you can be tactful in every situation. First, create the right environment to talk. It's very tricky when you want to confront somebody directly when they do a gaffe or when they go wrong. Why? Because their egos might be affected, or maybe the environment might influence their reaction. Take, for example, let's say you guys are maybe in some event and somebody maybe say something that you don't appreciate. You can choose to approach the person privately, or pull the person to the side and let the person know that, hey, you said something in the public that I really don't appreciate, and I didn't want to go out of line, so I decided that we should talk here. I just want to make it clear that ABCD was wrong, and in order to confront the situation next time, as I'm concerned, approach it in the following ways: one, two, three. Please, let's be clear on that. You know, so the environment in which you talk, you guys you want to bring up a difficult conversation, and you guys are talking on the street. It may not be as appropriate as if maybe you guys were talking one on one, maybe in a parlor, or maybe in some private room, or maybe in a calm restaurant. So the environment in which you guys talk also matters. Make sure the environment is the most appropriate environment. For example, if you want to appreciate somebody openly, you may want to choose maybe an environment where others are present, so that the appreciation will go out to the public, and it will make the person feel good. It will make the person feel appreciated, because the others that are in the hall also maybe applaud, or maybe come congratulate them and all of that, and they feel good about it. So the environment matters. Secondly, you need to choose the appropriate timing. Sometimes it's just not the right time to confront a situation or to give a news, or whatsoever. For example, let's say I am crying about certain losses that have been cured, and then maybe you learn that my shop burned up. God forbid, it's not going to happen to somebody. Or you learn that my shop has been burned. Maybe the time that I'm crying out for losses may not be the right time. I mean, maybe wait for maybe an environment where you're a little bit calmer and all of that, and try to bring up the topic slowly and progressively. First of all, create a cushion. Like, I know things are a little bit hard. There are periods where there's an avalanche of difficulty sometimes, but I think it was important for you to have this information. We realize that this is what has happened, but there's already a contingency plan. They have calmed down the things. They have recovered some of your goods, which you can pick up from, and we're here to help to support you. So timing matters. For example, bringing up a request for aid when somebody is tired, or maybe trying to talk to somebody about your new project when the person is in between meetings. That may not be the right timing. So you may check the time, or maybe you wanted to advise, or you wanted to talk to somebody about something when you people are in the middle of an argument or disagreement, and you may want the person to first calm down before trying to make them reason, because at that time their head is they are on edge, and they may not listen to anything that you say. It leads me to the next point, which is the manner of approach. Very, very important. There is transmission of information is 10% what you say and 90% how you see it. You may have the right thing to say, but you put it out in the wrong way, and it's going to blow it up. It's going to spoil the whole purpose for which you sent out that information, whether it was to correct, whether it was to encourage, whether it was to make a point. If you transmit it with disrespect, with aggression, or if you transmit it maybe with scorn or disdain, or maybe you just do it callously and senselessly. We are human beings, and we are sensitive to the emotions, or to how you make us feel. Our ego makes us to react in certain ways based on how much you're affected. So you may want to take into consideration that that also matters in transmission of information. You may want to rebuke somebody, but you may want to talk to them in a calm and respectful way, which is going to shift the ego on the side, and call onto your reason. You even if somebody has done something horrible to you, approaching it with anger or aggression may even worsen it. It may even make the situation even more fiery or more aggressive or um, more. I mean, make anger be the whole cause or the whole focus of the discussion. The manner of approach is really, really important. At the same time, you need to be assertive about certain things and you need to be self confident about certain things without you necessarily being haughty, without you necessarily being arrogant, without you necessarily being overconfident. You can just make your point firm and direct and put the right words which can make the person clearly understand what you're trying to say and be sincere. Which leads me to the next point: your choice of words. Your choice of words are also very important to you. You need to put your words in a certain way that it is going to cushion any negative or confrontational effect to what you're trying to explain. Take, for example, I want to decline work given to me by my boss because he maybe wants to have excuse to do other things on a Friday. And I have a lot of work that I really can't help my boss at that time. Instead of saying, "Hey, boss, I can't take your work. I'm really sorry. I'm overloaded." You could try something else, like for example, "Hey, boss, thank you so much for the confidence that you have in me, and I feel honored that you chose me amongst the other staff to do this work. But actually, the reality is I have file A to treat, file B to treat, file C to treat, and you made me to understand the importance of those files to be treated before weekend. I suggest that maybe you could call up staff B or staff C to do it, and then I'll be able to help you with some other work come Monday when my plate is light." You see, it projects that I respect you. It projects that I recognize your position. It projects that I value the fact that you chose me amongst others to do the work that you wanted me to do, and at the same time, I'm pushing through to you something that should have come with a negative reaction in a positive way. So you need to put in your words in a way. It's not always good to be scornful, disdainful, disrespectful, aggressive, careless, callous. All those different things, they block every possibility of somebody getting your message properly. The next, your body language also matters. If you want to transmit love to somebody, your body language should show love. If you want to transmit correction to somebody, your body language should show correction. If you want to transmit um, maybe the fact that you're not happy about something, your body language should show it. But at no point should you use any form of aggressive body language because human beings have egos, and those egos is the protection of their integrity, is the protection of their self-esteem, is the protection of their self-value. So anytime you attack that, they have a reactionary tendency um, in response to what you have done. So always try to put things or coin things in a way that they still feel respected, they still feel valuable, their self-esteem is still intact. And then finally, don't react emotionally. It always ends well. We know what happened at the Oscars. We recently saw what happened at the movie premiere. I may not go into the details, but reacting emotionally hardly really ends well. If maybe somebody says something that really annoys you, you may tell them, "Hey, I don't appreciate that. I'm going to calm down and they'll talk about it later. But please don't do that." You walk away. But if somebody says something that you don't like and you confront them immediately in that angry state, you may never do something, you may hardly ever do something that is reasonable. It's always good to calm down, cool off first, get some time. I know sometimes someone can say something that is just unacceptable, hard to take, and you just want to react. But the truth is, you need to build the capacity to have reaction time, to slow down your reaction time for a little bit. And that is going to help you to confront situations more rationally rather than blow it out of proportion and end up in a situation that may be even more complicated to handle. So That's what we have for Workers Daily today. Trying to be as brief as possible to talk about tact. Please just put, even if you like this video, just let's see what are your opinions about what tact is and other ways in which you can be tactful in different situations. And please like and subscribe. It's going to help the YouTube algorithm so that more people can be able to hear this and more people can be able to tap from this knowledge. I'll see you tomorrow with another edition of Workers Daily. Thank you very much.